Hi students, do you struggle with questions like this? If you are, continue watching. Now, as you can see over here, there was some blue and yellow bits in box A and box B. In box A, the ratio of the number of blue bits to the number of yellow bits was 3:7. So what we want to do first is we want to write out whatever we know in sentence number 2. Okay, so we know for box A, we have the ratio for blue is to yellow, it is 3:7. Once I'm done with this, which is sentence number 2, I can move on to sentence number 3. In sentence number 3, it says, in box B, the number of yellow bits was 55% of the number of blue bits. Now, let's change 55% to 55 over 100. And if I were to simplify this, I will get to 11 over 20. So a very common question students will pose to me is this: is 11 units for yellow or is it for blue? And is 20 units for yellow or is it for blue? So today I'm going to take this opportunity to clarify all of these doubts once and for all. Okay, remember, whatever that is in the numerator will always be is. Whatever that is in the denominator will always be of. Okay, now sometimes it can be was as well. So let's take a look at the sentence again. Okay, the number of yellow bits was. So what does that tell you? It tells you that the yellow bits has to be 11 units. 55% of the number of blue bits. It tells you that the blue bits has to be 20 units. Okay, so I hope this clarifies all of the doubts that you had. And once I'm done with this, I can write out, okay, for box B, okay, blue is to yellow. We know that for yellow, it has to be 11 units. So we are going to put over here. And for blue, it has to be 20 units. Okay, now once I'm done with this, I'm going to move on to sentence number 4. All right, so sentence number 4 says, after transferring half of the yellow beads from box A to box B. So when I take a look at box A, I can see that I'm going to take out half from that 7 units from yellow beads. Okay, but the question I have for you is this, okay? Can you take out 3.5? Now, my encouragement to students is try not to. How did I get 3.5? I got 3.5 because if I were to take out half from 7, that is equals to 3.5. I try not to take out any decimals. I try to make everything into whole numbers, okay? Especially in the ratio question. So what I want to do is I want to increase this. I'm going to times 2 to this, and I'm going to times 2 to this, and I'll get to 6:14, okay? I'm going to get to a number, okay, that is a multiple of 2. Why is it a multiple of 2? Because when I am going to half 14, I will get to a very nice whole number, and that is -7 units. Okay, so I'm going to -7 units over here because I took out half, right? And what happens is this, is that I will get to 7 over here. Okay, now, if you look at blue, there will be no change to blue because I did not take out anything from blue bits in box A. Okay, so therefore, it has to still be 6 units. Okay, so as you can see over here, for box A, it is 6 units for blue and 7 units for yellow. All right, so where did that 7 units go to? That 7 units go to box B for yellow beads. Okay, so once I'm done with that, I can read sentence number 5. Okay, there were 546 bits in box A. So what are they trying to tell you? They are trying to tell you that 6 units, as you can see over here, of blue plus 7 units of yellow is equals to 546. So what we can do is we can just simply do 6 units plus 7 units. That gives me 13 units. And we can confidently say that 13 units is equals to 546. And what we want to do is always to find Mr. Green Man. All right, so we simply just do 546 divided by 13, and that brings me to 42. Okay, now once I'm done with this, because I got my 1 unit, I can read the question. How many yellow bits were transferred from box A to box B? Do you remember just now I transferred 7 units? So therefore, I have to do 7 units, which is 42 times 7. Okay, 42 times 7, that will give me an answer of 294. Therefore, your answer for A is 294, and this is for A. Make it obvious, double line it, okay? Now, once you're done with that, you can move on to sentence number 6. Sentence number 6 says, the ratio of the number of blue bits to the number of yellow bits in box B. So now I want you to fix your eyes on box B. After the transfer means after receiving the 7 units, it became 5:8. Now, this is very odd. This is very, very odd. And if you're wondering, Teacher Joseph, how is it odd? It doesn't look odd to me. Let me explain to you why, okay? It's odd to me because I remember in the earlier sentences, it says that after transferring half of the yellow, there wasn't any transfer done to blue. So shouldn't blue ratio be the same? So what are we going to do? We are going to make blue's ratio in box B the same. Okay, so how am I going to make them the same? Look at this. Before it was 20 units, now it's 5 units, but there wasn't any transferring. There wasn't any in and out. So therefore, I have to times 4 to this. And when I do something to the left, I must do something to the right. So once I'm done with this, I have my new ratio. Okay, so I'm going to write it out again. There's no change to the before. It's still 20:11. It is still for blue and yellow. But what happens to my after is this. I got 20 over here and I got 32 for my yellow bits. Now, it makes a lot of sense now because for box B blue bits, there should be no change to the blue bits because there wasn't any receive or there wasn't any transferring out. Okay, so now if you're wondering, hey, why is it that there is a jump? Of course there is a jump because just now remember in box A, I took out half of the yellow bits from box A and I put it into box B. Okay, and we know that that is actually 294. Okay, so I want to ask myself, how many units will that be? So I'm going to continue from here. Okay, I can see that 11 to 32, so 32 units minus 11 units, that gives me 21 units. So I can confidently write that 21 units is actually equals to 294. We want to always find our Mr. Green Man. Okay, so we simply do 294 divided by 21, and that gives me 14. Once Mr. Green Man is out, same thing. Look at the question for B. What was the number of blue bits in box B? Okay, so what I want to find is I want to look at box B and I want to look at blue bits. You can see blue bits. It doesn't matter which ratio are you going to look at for box B blue, all right, because both they are the same. So what we want to find is we want to simply find 20 units. So simply put, I just find 20 units over here. I can just do 14 times 20, and that brings me to an answer of 280 blue bits in box B. And this is my answer for this question. And this question is from Raffles SA1 2022, and this is question 16. So I hope this makes sense to you, and I look forward to see you in my next video. Bye!